Hope that you have watched the video which is related to the chemistry. Last uploaded video if you have watched it please. Then in that I have given the information for you related to the silent futures of Kalinga College, and also in that video you can able to see that what characteristic futures the science student should possess to achieve a good rank and to get placement in better colleges in NEET and CET. About that I have given information to you in that video. No? Then let us move to today's class. In this class we are going to deal about chemistry syllabus related to your PEC according to your NCERT syllabus. What will be there in the chemistry? Okay, how many units are there and what is actually chemistry? Chemistry deals with which kind of things? Is there any use of this chemistry? About all the we will discuss in today's class. Okay, then let us move to our original part of our chemistry. Then what is chemistry? Okay? Chemistry is nothing but it is a branch of science. Chemistry is nothing but a branch of science. Then what is science? Science is nothing but what is science? And it is nothing but a continuing effort made by the human beings, continuous systematic effort made by the human beings for describing and for understanding the nature. Whatever the efforts put by the man, that will come under the study called as what is that science. Continuing effort made by the human beings for the systematic understanding of and describing the nature, for the systematic understanding and describing the nature, those will come under the category called as what is that category? Science. Okay, for the sake of convenience, this science is divided into certain branches, certain disciplines it is divided. What are the disciplines of this science? Science is mainly divided into two parts. The first part of that one is called as physical sciences. The first part is called as what it is called? Physical sciences. And the second part is called as biological sciences. The second part is called as biological sciences. Then what is this physical sciences and biological sciences? In these physical sciences, again it has some branches. So the science which deals with the physics and chemistry. The science which deals with the physics and chemistry. The science which deals with the physics and chemistry will come under the category called as physical science. So far you have seen what is a science? Continuous human effort for the systematic study for describing and understanding the nature is called as a science. In science, mainly we can find two branches. One is called as a physical sciences, the other one is called as a biological sciences. In physical sciences, again it has subdivisions and disciplines called as physics and chemistry. About the second part in that is chemistry, we are going to deal now. So what is this chemistry? Chemistry is nothing but it is a branch of physical sciences. The physical sciences which is a branch of science. Automatically we can say it as chemistry is a branch of science. Chemistry is a branch of science. So in this chemistry what will be there? Chemistry is nothing but branch of science which deals with the study of structures, composition and properties of matter. That science is called as what it is called chemistry. So what is chemistry? A branch of science. A branch of science which deals with study of properties, composition and structure of matter is called as what it is called chemistry. So So what is chemistry? A branch of science which deals with the study of properties, composition and structure of matter. So what are these properties? What is composition? What is structure? And what is meant by matter? Let us deal with the properties. In our chemistry, mainly we will deal with two properties. What are those two properties? The first properties are called physical properties and the second properties are called chemical properties. What are physical properties? The properties which we can measure, which we can able to see, okay, which we can able to smell or which we can able to explain with our touch. Those properties will come under a category called as a physical properties. So physical properties are those properties which we can measure, which we can feel out, okay, which we can smell out. So what are those? What is the color of the substance? You can able to see that. And by touching the object, you can tell whether the object is a soft or hard. So by touch, by feeling, you are telling that property. And example, if you take melting points and boiling points, these melting points and boiling points we can measure with the help of instruments. No, those properties which we can measure with the help of our hands, okay, and which we can feel, which we can touch and explain, those properties will come under the category called as, what are that category? Physical properties. Then what are chemical properties? The properties which we can explain by doing the experiment. After doing the experiment, our properties ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದ. Those properties are called as, what they are called? Chemical properties. For example, acidic character of a substance, basic character of a substance, the pH value of a substance. If you want to measure these properties, we have to test it, we have to do the experiment. Those properties are called as, what they are called as a chemical properties of substance. So mainly properties are two types, physical properties and chemical properties. Yeah, properties we can measure directly, which we can able to see, which we can sense. Those properties will come under physical properties, and those properties which we will explain with the experiments, those are called chemical properties. Together these physical properties and chemical properties will come under the category of properties of matter. So that is about the first three properties. Then coming to the composition. What is composition? For example, when we take certain compounds in chemistry, for example, I written here CO2 I have written the compound called as a CO2. You know, generally CO2 is nothing but carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide gas. If it is a gas, side we will represent the symbol arrow mark in the up direction. Arrow mark up indicates it is a gas. So CO2. Here in this compound CO2, we have two composition. If you take the CO2 composition, you can able to see the carbon is one element, carbon is one of the element, and oxygen is another element. When carbon combines with the oxygen in the ratio of 1:2, we are getting a compound called as a carbon dioxide. Then what is the composition of carbon dioxide? The composition of carbon dioxide is carbon and oxygen in the ratio of 1:2. Otherwise, we take another example, H2. You are very familiar with this. What is H2O? It is a formula, chemical formula of water which is existing in a liquid state. Here L stands for that H2O is existing in a state called as a liquid state. Okay, if you write here H2O, G if you write this, water is existing in a gaseous state, that is nothing but steam, water vapor. Water can exist in a vapor state, no? When water exists in a vapor state, it is written as a G. If you write here the letter L, water is existing in a liquid state. Okay, suppose if you write here S means water is existing in a solid state in the form of ice. Okay, in the form of ice, it is existing in a solid state. So here if you take the H2O solid which is existing in an ice state, the composition of this water H2O which is existing in a solid state or which is existing in a liquid state or which is existing in the gaseous state, what is the composition? It is a composition of hydrogen element and oxygen element in the ratio of 2:1. If hydrogen combines with oxygen in the ratio of then we can get a compound called as, what is that compound called as a water. So ಆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾಗ ಏನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ನಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ in what ratio they will combine, that is called as what it is called composition. Okay, generally if you want to tell means for example, if you are having a habit of drinking coffee in the early morning like that means, then you can able to see that you can drink in evening also, that is not a problem. But if you come to the coffee, we will tell that what are the ingredients present in that coffee, what are the ingredients required for making coffee, and we will say it as what we will tell: coffee powder, sugar, milk, water is required. Those are called as ingredients, what is present in that coffee. Similarly, in our chemistry, in a substance, ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾಗ ಏನು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾವ, ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as, what is that study called as a composition. What is that called as a composition. Then coming to the next character, structure. So what is that structure? Whether the substance is existing in which type of structure, what shape it is having, whether it is having a triangular shape or rectangular shape, pyramidal shape, okay, octahedral shape, those all study will come under the category called as, what is that category? Branch of science called as a chemistry. So chemistry mainly deals with the study of properties, maybe physical properties or chemical properties, composition, what is present in that substance, and it also deals with the shape of that substance. Okay, that is called as, what it is called as a chemistry. So chemistry mainly deals with study of properties, composition and structure of matter and theory. So what is this matter here? That matter is nothing but, maybe in your lower classes, in your primary or in secondary education, you have read about that matter. What is this matter? Matter is nothing but anything or any substance or anything that will have mass, that has mass and which occupies the space is called as, what it is called as a matter. Matter is nothing but anything which has mass and which will possess the mass and which will occupies the space, that is called as, what it is called, matter. Is it clear that? So that's about the definition of chemistry. So what is chemistry? Nothing but branch of science which deals with the study of properties, composition and structure of matter. Is it clear for you? So that's about that matter. And then let us see here, you have seen the definition of chemistry. Chemistry andre ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. Then this chemistry again it has sub branches. What are the sub branches mainly present in chemistry? Andre chemistry mainly consists of 4 branches as general chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry and analytical chemistry. So what is that? General chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry and analytical chemistry are the branches which are mainly present in the chemistry. Is it clear that? Again, according to your syllabus, depending upon certain conditions and criteria, again some branches are there, like physical chemistry antivi, biochemistry antivi, the chemistry related to the geology, like that so many branches are there in our chemistry. Okay ma? Chemistry is nothing but a branch of science which is dealing about the properties, composition, structure of matter. Again this chemistry is having certain branches depending upon certain criteria. What are the main branches of chemistry? Organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, general chemistry and physical chemistry or analytical chemistry. Okay, that's about the divisions or disciplines in the chemistry. Let us see about these disciplines and what are there. About that, what we will study in general chemistry, what we will study in our physical chemistry, what we will study, that we will see here. Let me continue here. So here we have seen that chemistry is again having branches as general, physical, organic and inorganic first PU NCERT syllabus prakara you are going to learn in our chemistry these branches. Okay, general chemistry, physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. About these branches you will study in your first year. Okay, analytical chemistry, another branch is there, biochemistry is there, geology is geochemistry is there, this different type of chemistry is there, but according to your syllabus these branches you are going to study in your first year. Then what is general chemistry? General chemistry is nothing but the chemistry which deals with the properties, theories and the rules which we will apply in the preparation of certain elements and compounds in our chemistry, especially atoms and molecules ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. Those will come under the category called as a general chemistry. So general chemistry mainly deals with what it deals under. General chemistry mainly deals with the theories, rules, whatever we are using in the preparation of certain elements and compounds which are present in the nature. That is called as what it is called general chemistry. Then what is physical chemistry? And this is nothing but another branch of chemistry which will be taken the rules, theories, laws which are present in the physics, and those laws and theories we will apply for the understanding of chemistry. That will come under the category called as a physical chemistry. So physical chemistry deals with the theories, laws which are related to the physics and their application in our chemistry for the study of chemical systems is called as what it is called physical chemistry. Then coming to the organic chemistry. Organic chemistry deals with the study of carbon and its compounds. You know that there is a special branch for an element in our chemistry. What is that element? The carbon element. For this carbon element, one special branch is there in chemistry. That branch which is dealing with the carbon and its compounds. Carbon related to the oxygen, carbon related to the nitrogen, carbon related to the hydrogen, oxygen. Those all will come under the category called as organic chemistry. Okay. Then inorganic chemistry. What is inorganic chemistry? This is another branch of chemistry which deals with inorganic compounds and the compounds called as organometallic compounds. That chemistry is called as what it is called inorganic chemistry. So inorganic chemistry mainly deals with what it will deals with inorganic compounds. But it also deals with organometallic compounds. That will come under a category called as inorganic chemistry. But according to your syllabus, analytical chemistry was included in that. But what is analytical chemistry? Analytical chemistry is nothing but whatever the techniques and methods we will apply for the purification, for the identification and for separation of elements and compounds, for the separation of elements from the compound, for the separation and for identification, we will apply certain techniques now. Those study will come under the category called as, what is that category called? Analytical chemistry. So that's about the special branches in our chemistry. That's the introduction to our chemistry. So chemistry andre ಏನು, chemistry ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು ಮತ್ತು chemistry ನಾಗ ಏನು branches ಇದಾವ, that all I have told for you so far. No? Then coming to your NCERT syllabus, in your NCERT syllabus these branches general chemistry, physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry you can find. So that's about the definition. Then is it necessary for us to read the chemistry? Chemistry now ಓದಬೇಕಾ? ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? What is the use of that? Okay, are we applying the chemistry principles and theories in our daily life or in our body? It is there any related chemicals? What are those? In the nature, any chemical substances are present. Why we have to read about that? Let us see about that. So, why we have to read about chemistry? Chemistry find application in various branches of science. Chemistry is related to the physics. That is called physical chemistry. Okay, chemistry is related to your biological sciences, biochemistry. Chemistry is related to the other branches of science also. Chemistry is linked with every branch of science. That's why the chemistry is called the very important branch in the science and it will play a central role in the sciences. So chemistry plays an important role and central role in sciences because chemistry is intertwined. Intertwined means linked. It is linked with everyone. ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ it is not with me or not with you. It is linked with physics. It is also linked with biological sciences in the form of biochemistry, physical chemistry. Okay, like that it is intertwined with everyone. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ chemistry is called as an important science in the science branch. Okay, important science branch, and it will play a central role in our sciences. So that's the importance of chemistry. Then coming to the application of chemistry, chemistry find application in every part of your daily life. In our daily life also we are using chemistry. In industries also we are using the laws and principles related to the chemistry. Everywhere in this world you are able to see the principles and elements which are present in chemistry. For example, if you come to the medical field, okay, now the present situation you are facing the COVID-19 problem, corona. So in that you have seen that daily life, those who are going outside, you will be wearing mask, cloth, fabric. That fabric is nothing but which is obtained from the plants or which is prepared artificially by using the chemical substances, no? Okay, cotton indirectly it is a plant product naturally, but certain synthetic cloths also we will get. Nylon, dacron, polythene, the polythene covers, those are all related to our chemistry only. Okay, coming to your medicine only, during this situation, whenever you are moving out, you are putting sanitizer for your hands. Sanitizing, what is that? It is a chemical, and especially in your advertisements, you can able to see that alcohol-based sanitizer you have to use. Alcohol is having a functional group called as a OH, oxygen and hydrogen. So those all will belonging to, where they are belonging to, and they are nothing but chemical sciences. Okay, and then whenever you will suffer from diseases, when mild temperatures are there, you will be taking the tablets, that is medicine. Okay, these medicines, whatever we are taking, those all consist of chemical substances only, no? For example, if you take certain tablets, okay, in your home, you may be, anyone is suffering from anything, mild fever, when you get like that, you will be taking tablets. Now, once you observe that a tablet, under the tablet cover, they have written, what they will written, composition anta bardirtare. So in that composition, you can able to see that what is present in that tablet. Mostly, that tablet consists of so many chemical substances in certain percentages. So that shows that medical world is totally related to our chemistry. Okay, then if you take our living organisms, bioorganisms, especially our body only tagori, our body is made up of so many atoms something. So million number of atoms are present in our body, in the cells we will tell. What are those atoms? The smallest particles in the matter, they are all related to the chemistry only. So chemistry is playing important role in your body also. It is playing important role in the medical field. It is also playing important role in the industries. So in industries, we can able to see that they will be preparing different type of chemical substances prepare matter. In chemical industries, especially they will be preparing different gases for the usage. Okay, and then you can find different chemical compounds which we'll be using in our homes. For example, for cleaning of your toilets, washrooms, what we will use? We will use phenols, we will use acids. Okay, different type of substances we are using. They are nothing but what are those? Nothing but chemicals only, no? Then to avoid the bacteria, microorganisms, what we are doing now during this situation, municipality people will be spraying chemicals. Okay, to avoid the growth of microorganism, bacteria, everything. So what are those? Those all will come under the category called as a disinfectants, which will stop the infection. So those all will come under the category called as a chemistry. So chemistry is related to our daily life. It is present in our body itself. So many chemicals will be present. Then it is also present to make our world colorful. You can able to see that whenever we will get natural clothes, from that clothes, whatever the clothes which are prepared by naturally, from the silkworms. Okay, silkworms mean the silk birth, and then cotton, we are getting cotton clothes. clothes like that. Whatever the clothes we wear, that clothes are made colorful to make your appearance attractive. How that colors are appeared and they are nothing but coloring substances, nothing but chemicals only. Okay, and then for beautiful looking of you, you will be applying dyes, certain cosmetics for your attraction. Those all will come under the study of what are those chemistry only. So and also for your body, for nice fragrance from your body, you will be putting perfumes, and then you will be also to clean your body also you will be applying certain soaps. Okay, to clean your body you will be applying certain lotions. Those all will come under the study of chemical substances under the branch of science called as a chemistry. Okay, when you have the chemistry knowledge, then you will come to know that which type of chemicals we are using in daily life or composition ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. That all we will come to know when we know about the chemistry. That's why you have to read the chemistry. Is it clear? So that's the importance of chemistry. Then let us move to the first unit of your chemistry. What is there in the we will see now. Before moving to the first unit of your chemistry, let me tell you, in your chemistry, according to your first PU, there are 14 units are there. Okay, 14 units are there. That 14 units are divided into certain branches. So certain units are related to general chemistry, certain units are related to physical chemistry, certain units are related to organic chemistry, and certain units are related to inorganic chemistry also they are related. So what are those units which are related to general chemistry, physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry? Later on I will post for you afterwards in this video in further videos. But let us start today the first unit of our chemistry. What is the first unit of our chemistry? As you are new to the chemistry, maybe in your higher education in the school level, you have seen about physics and chemistry separately and you have learned certain things in the chemistry. But to give a general introduction to the chemistry, the first PU syllabus in the first unit, we are giving certain concepts related to the chemistry. What are those concept unit name? Some basic concepts of chemistry. That is our unit 1 in our chemistry. Let us start that unit. Unit 1, some basic concepts of chemistry. So that's about the unit 1 in your chemistry. About that we will see today. In there some basic concepts of chemistry. Already I have told for you what is the definition of chemistry, what are the branches present in chemistry, and what important role chemistry is playing in the other branches of science. Is there any use of chemistry? Those all are given as introduction in this first unit. So we will move to the next topic because already I have told that topic now, so no need to repeat it again, I think so. That's why we will move to the first topic in our chemistry. What is the first topic in our chemistry? Andre general introduction to the chemistry. In the general introduction, we can able to see the definition of chemistry one more time. What is chemistry? Andre branch of science which deals with the study of structure, composition and properties of matter is called as what it is called as a chemistry. So in they given the first topic as a matter. What is this matter? What is that? That all we will see here. The first topic is matter. So what is matter? Matter is nothing but anything that will possess mass and which occupies the space is called as what it is called as a matter. Matter is nothing but which will have the mass and which will occupies the space is called as matter. So if any substance want to become the matter, we will occupy certain space when we are standing, when we are sitting, when we are sleeping. So we are nothing but a kind of matter. This board, if you take, this board is having certain mass and it is occupying certain space in the form of a rectangle. No? So this will also come under the category called as a matter. So matter consists of substances having two characters or possessing two characters. What are those two characters? One is mass, the other one is occupying the space. Maybe it is a living organism or non-living organism also will come under the category called as a matter. So matter is nothing but the substances which are having mass and which will occupy the space will come under the character called as a matter. Is it okay? So this matter consists of mainly smallest particles inside that smallest particles which are present in the matter are called as what they are called atoms or molecules. Atoms or molecules are the smallest particles which are present in the matter. So matter is made up of very small particles. The small particles are called as what they are called as atoms. When these atoms are combined, we will get another particles called as molecules. So matter is nothing but what is nothing but it is any substance which will possess the mass and which will occupy the space, that is called as a matter. This matter is made up of very small particles called as atoms. When atoms will combine, we will get molecules. So that's about that matter. Is it clear? This matter, in this matter, how the particles called as an atom, the constituent particles called as an atom, how they are arranged, whether they are closely arranged, otherwise whether they are arranged apart from each other, how they are arranged, depending upon the arrangement of these constituent particles. Depending upon the arrangement of the constituent particles, again the matter is classified into three types as a solid state matter, liquid state matter and gaseous state matter. So matter is again classified into three states as solid state matter, liquid state matter and then gaseous state matter. So depending upon the arrangement of the smallest particles which are present in the matter called as atoms, atoms ಹೆಂಗೆ arrange ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, depending upon that arrangement the matter is classified or matter is divided as solid state matter, liquid state matter and gaseous state matter. What is solid state matter? The matter in which the constituent particles called as atoms or molecules or ions, when they are packed very closely with a less space between them, those type of matter is called as what it is called solid state matter. Then what is liquid state matter? The matter in which the constituent particles, that may be atoms, molecules or ions, when they are arranged by leaving some gap between them, little gap will be there between that constituent particles, those will come under the category called as a liquid state. Then what is gaseous state? The state of matter in which the constituent particles called as atoms, molecules or ions, they are arranged very far away from each other. At that time we will get a state of matter called as a gaseous state of matter. What is that matter is called as a gaseous state of matter. For example, if you take the constituent particles in the matter called as atoms, if they are having spherical shape, okay, they are having a spherical shape, then in this matter, if these atoms which are having the spherical shape, if they are arranged like this very tightly, one after the other, then we will get the matter called as, what is that matter called as a solid. So in solids, okay, in solids the constituent particles are arranged one after the other, leaving some small gap between them. This small gap which is present in them is called as what it is called intermolecular space. Okay, intermolecular space, the space which is present between these molecules or which is present in interatomic space. If atoms are closely packed, then we will say it as an interatomic space. If molecules are tightly arranged, the space between them is called as an intermolecular space. So like that in solids we can see that there is a tight arrangement of constituent particles, atoms, molecules or ions. Okay. Then in liquids if you take, suppose you have taken the water. So how will be the constituent particles are there? The constituent particles will be present there. But generally in the liquid what we will do on it? Instead of giving the spherical shape, what we will do on it? We will give in the form of dashes. So you think that these are the smallest particles. Between these small particles you can able to see certain spaces are left out. So there is a large gap between them compared to the in the solid. This kind of matter will come under the category called as liquids. Liquids are kind of matter in which the constituent particles are arranged far away from each other compared to that in the solids. Then what is gaseous matter? The matter in which the constituent particles are arranged very far away from each other. Okay, one gas particle here. So between the atoms, the constituent particles, what is there? There is a large gap is there between them. This type of matter will come under the category called as, what is that category called as a gaseous matter. Okay, this will come under the category called as a gaseous matter. So how the constituent particles are arranged? Constituent particles very closely packed with the solids. Constituent particles far away with liquids. If the constituent particles are very far away, we will get the other type of matter called as, what is that matter called as a gaseous matter. So these are the divisions in the matter. And what is that matter? What is that we have seen in today's class. In the next class, we will continue with the still what properties this solid state matter, liquid state matter and gaseous state of matter will possess. What are those all we will see in the next class. We will continue it in the next class. So today